Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, I want you to ask yourself one simple question. How many times in your life have you been on the edge of giving up? How many moments have you whispered to yourself, maybe this is too hard, maybe this isn't meant for me? We've all been there. We've all felt the weight of disappointment pressing on our shoulders, the silence of failure echoing in our minds, and the temptation to walk away when life seemed too overwhelming. But here's the truth: every single breakthrough in history, every achievement worth remembering, every dream that was ever realized, came from someone who refused to quit when quitting seemed like the easier choice. They were not extraordinary because they never fell. They were extraordinary because they rose every single time they fell. This speech is not just about motivation. It's about transformation. It's about awakening something inside you that's been silenced for too long. It's about reigniting the fire that setbacks have tried to extinguish. And tonight, I'm asking you not just to listen with your ears, but with your heart, because the words you are about to hear may very well be the turning point in your journey. By the end of this speech, you will see your struggles differently. You will understand that your pain has a purpose. You will feel the power of persistence and the strength of belief in yourself. And I promise you, if you stay with me, if you listen not just to what I say, but to what these words awaken inside of you, you will walk away with something far more valuable than inspiration. You will walk away with conviction. So I invite you, open your heart, lean into these words, and let's take this journey together. Because tonight, you will discover why you should never ever give up. Life has a way of testing us at the most unexpected moments. Sometimes the challenges come suddenly, like a storm you never saw approaching. Other times, they creep in slowly, draining your energy day by day until you feel like you're carrying a mountain on your shoulders. And in those moments, it's so easy to believe that the obstacles in your path are there to stop you. It's so easy to convince yourself that maybe you weren't meant to go further, that maybe the universe is telling you to give up. But let me tell you something: those challenges are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones. They are not placed in front of you to push you away from your dream. They are placed there to prepare you for it. Think about it. If life handed you everything you wanted without resistance, how much would you truly value it? The truth is, the greater the dream, the greater the struggle. Every obstacle you face has a hidden purpose. It's strengthening you, shaping you, and carving out the version of yourself who is capable of holding on to the very success you desire. The obstacle is not in the way. The obstacle is the way. It's the training ground where your resilience is built. I want you to remember this. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has stood exactly where you are standing now, facing moments of doubt, setbacks, and trials that seemed impossible to overcome. But what separated them from the rest wasn't luck. It wasn't talent alone. It was the refusal to see a challenge as the end. They understood that challenges were invitations. An invitation to rise higher, to push deeper, and to discover a strength they never even knew they had. When you are in the middle of a storm, when everything feels like it's falling apart, it's natural to want to escape. It's natural to wish the problem away, but I challenge you to look at it differently. Instead of asking, "Why me?" start asking, "What is this teaching me? What is this moment preparing me for?" Because every difficulty carries a lesson, and those lessons are the stepping stones to your destiny. Without them, you would never grow into the person you are meant to be. Think about the seed planted in the soil. It must push against the dirt, fight against the darkness, and break through the ground to ever see the light of day. If the seed gave up halfway, if it decided the weight of the soil was too heavy, it would never become the tree it was destined to be. And just like that seed, you are being pushed, you are being tested, not to be buried forever, but to grow into something greater. Yes, the challenges will hurt. They will test your patience, your willpower, and your endurance. They will break you down until you feel like you have nothing left. But in those very moments, when you think you cannot take another step, you are actually closer than ever to a breakthrough. Pain is temporary, but growth is permanent. And the very thing that feels like it's breaking you is the same thing building you. You see, success is not about avoiding challenges. It's about facing them head on, refusing to let them define you and using them as leverage to climb higher. Every setback you survive adds to your strength. Every closed door forces you to search for another opening. Every no you hear is preparing you for the one yes. That will change your life forever. So the next time you stand before a challenge that feels bigger than you, I want you to remember this truth. You were never meant to be defeated by it. You were meant to rise because of it. Challenges are not curses, they are blessings in disguise. They are the universe's way of asking, how badly do you want this? How much are you willing to grow for it? And when you choose to keep moving forward, even when it hurts, you are proving to yourself and to the world that nothing can stop you. The weight you are carrying today may feel unbearable, but tomorrow it will be the very strength you lean on to conquer even greater mountains. So do not curse the challenges you face, embrace them, walk through them, because they are shaping you into someone powerful, someone unstoppable, someone who will never give up. Persistence is one of the most underestimated forces in the world. People often imagine success as this single, defining moment, one big victory that changes everything. But the truth is, real success doesn't come from one moment. It comes from showing up day after day, even when no one is watching, even when the results don't come right away. It's the quiet discipline of refusing to quit when the excitement has faded, when progress feels slow, and when the world gives you 1,000 reasons to walk away. The power of persistence lies in its consistency. It doesn't demand perfection, it demands presence. Think about how water shapes stone not through force, but through steady, relentless drops over time. That's how greatness is built, through the kind of persistence that may seem small in the moment, but over time it transforms everything. Each time you choose to keep going, you're laying down another brick, another layer of strength, another step closer to the life you imagine. The hardest part of persistence is often not the beginning, but the middle. At the start, motivation is high, the vision is clear, and the energy feels unstoppable. But then the grind sets in, the excitement fades, and the results don't appear as quickly as you hoped. That's when most people quit, not because they can't achieve it, but because they lose patience in the process. Persistence is about enduring those seasons of silence, those stretches of effort when nothing seems to move, and trusting that what you're building will eventually reveal itself. And here's what makes persistence so powerful. It doesn't just create results, it changes you. Every day you push forward, you strengthen your will. Every time you refuse to quit, you reinforce your belief in yourself. And one day, when the breakthrough finally comes, you'll look back and realize that the real victory wasn't in the achievement itself. It was in becoming the person who refused to stop. So don't underestimate the small actions you take daily. Don't dismiss the progress you can't yet see. Every late night of effort, every early morning of discipline, every time you show up when it would have been easier to stay down, it all compounds. Success doesn't arrive suddenly. It builds quietly behind the scenes until one day the world calls it an overnight success, not knowing it was persistence all along. That is the power of persistence. It doesn't just carry you forward, it carries you through. Failure is one of those words that people fear so deeply that they let it stop them from even trying. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Every person who has ever accomplished something meaningful has faced failure, often more times than they can count. The difference is, they didn't let failure define them. They didn't take it as a signal to quit. They took it as a lesson to learn. Failure, when embraced, becomes fuel. It sharpens you, it toughens you, and it teaches you in ways that success never can. When you fail, it's easy to feel broken, to question your worth, to believe that maybe you're not cut out for what you're chasing. But what if you started seeing failure differently? What if every setback was a teacher, showing you where to grow, where to adjust, where to become better? Suddenly, failure is no longer the end of the road. It's a stepping stone to something greater. The only real failure is giving up completely. As long as you're learning, as long as you're still moving forward, you're not failing. You're progressing. Some of the most successful people in history didn't just stumble once. They stumbled over and over again. But each time they got back up, carried the lesson, and moved closer to their breakthrough. That's what makes the difference. Not the absence of failure, but the courage to use it, the ability to take that pain, that disappointment, and turn it into fuel to drive you harder, faster, and stronger. And the truth is, failure also builds resilience. It teaches you how to handle rejection, how to stand tall after being knocked down, and how to keep your vision alive when circumstances try to crush it. Every scar you carry from failure is proof that you dared to try, proof that you didn't settle for staying in your comfort zone, proof that you were brave enough to chase something bigger than yourself. So the next time failure visits you, don't run from it and don't let it convince you to quit. Welcome it, learn from it. Let it remind you that you're still in the fight, that you're still moving, that you're still alive in the pursuit of your dream. Because failure is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally when you choose to rise above it. That is why failure should never be the reason you stop, but the reason you keep going. There is a strength that no challenge, no failure, and no obstacle can ever take from you, and that is the strength of believing in yourself. Everything begins with that inner conviction. You can have all the talent, all the resources, and all the opportunities in the world, but without belief, you will never take the first step, and you will never keep walking when the road gets hard. Self-belief is the foundation on which every dream is built, and without it, even the strongest plans will crumble. The world will always have doubters. There will always be voices that tell you you're not ready, you're not capable, or you're not enough. Sometimes those voices won't come from others, they'll come from within. That quiet whisper of insecurity, that creeping doubt that tells you maybe you don't have what it takes. And in those moments, belief is your shield. It's what keeps you steady when everything around you tries to push you off course. Believing in yourself doesn't mean you never feel fear, and it doesn't mean you never doubt. It means that even in the presence of fear, you trust that you are strong enough to figure it out. It means that even when doubt lingers in your mind, your faith in your own resilience is louder. It's about choosing every single day to back yourself, even when the odds aren't in your favor. When you carry that unshakable belief, you stop waiting for the world to validate you. You stop depending on approval, and you stop letting circumstances dictate your worth. You begin to stand taller, act bolder, and dream bigger, because you know that no matter what happens, you will find a way. That kind of confidence doesn't just change how you see yourself, it changes how the world sees you. People are drawn to someone who carries belief because belief is contagious. When you believe in yourself, you give others permission to believe in themselves too. And the truth is, self-belief is what ties everything together. It's what keeps you moving when challenges weigh you down. It's what drives your persistence when progress feels invisible. It's what helps you see failure not as an ending, but as a stepping stone. Without belief, everything else falls apart. With belief, there is nothing you cannot endure, nothing you cannot overcome, nothing you cannot achieve. That is why no matter what you face, no matter how hard the road becomes, you must never stop believing in yourself.